player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside the chat box and use your keyboard to type out what you want to say. You can type words, use emojis, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button. Your comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live stream to see. If you want to send another comment, just type it in the chat box again and press enter or send. Your new comment will show up below your previous one.
Welcome to Frankly Speaking. Hi, Mr. Mac. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, but apparently something is going wrong. But let's see.
Go ahead with the intro.
Let's go. All over the country, and especially on social media, there was a kind of frenzy, consternation, concern, welcome, and all kinds of news that the Chinese had a company doing a thriving business near Ferry at the St. Andrew border. Frankly speaking, mechanics at the auto repair shop were overwhelmed by the number of people rushing to get their vehicles there for checks and repairs over the last few weeks. Good day, I'm Franklin McKnight. Frankly speaking, more and more questions are being asked. How come no Jamaicans were on the floor of that shop? Did the guys who were there? And did they have all the permits for doing business? Were they, like so many Chinese grocers, given any tax concessions, the tax-free status? Don't worry, closed down. But investigations. Chinese companies are here. More than that, there's a similar large enterprise auto service center just opening up in St. Anne near Plantation. That's at Prairie. And the lines there for service long already. They are there. But frankly speaking, there are many questions, not so closely aligned to business. We will face some of them this afternoon as we discuss Chinese business, race, self-belief, business organization, and so on. This is Frankly Speaking Jamaica Podcast 164. Welcome. We ask you to subscribe if you haven't. So it's easy. We start today by discussing something that's not a 9-day wonder and has nothing to do with the Chinese, but with us Jamaicans. How we dispose of our garbage and why we Jamaicans have such nasty habits. We have the man in charge of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Audley Gordon, who's going to tell us a little bit about their program of action in helping to prevent Jamaica becoming even filthier. With us today on the panel are our esteemed friends, Desmond Richards, Winnie Anderson-Brown, and Mary Grange. We invite our questions and comments as shown earlier in the program. And you may also send texts and photos by WhatsApp to 876-503-9995. That's 876-503-9995. Welcome to Mr. Gordon, Mr. Audley Gordon, who is Executive Director of NSWMA. Mr. Gordon, please tell us how successful you are.
Well, good afternoon, Franklin and panel, and good afternoon to the viewers. First, it's an honor for me to be on. sharing our experiences and what we are doing and what we expect in a partnership for a cleaner Jamaica. The first thing I would love to say is that the majority of our people, I would say probably about 70-75%, are playing their part in helping to keep the country clean. They do
Mr. Gordon, we're
install.
having a little bit of difficulty hearing you.
Let me hold the phone a little closer. Are you hearing me better now?
I can hear.
Not so smooth.
I'm hearing clearly. I'm hearing clearly.
I am hearing you loud and clear, man.
So am I. I'm hearing him very clearly.
But the host Franklin, obviously having an issue. Are you hearing me better, Franklin? Yeah. Can I go now, Franklin?
He's not hearing.
Franklin, can I now speak?
You should. Please go ahead. We are hearing you, sir.
Right.
Mr. Mac will come in. He's obviously, Franklin McKnight is having some technical difficulties this evening, but the show will go on. Please go on, Mr. Gordon.
Yeah, so firstly, thank you very much. So as I was making the point that the higher percentage of our people, maybe 70-75%, are doing their part in helping to keep Jamaica clean. You will see they've installed receptacles at their gates. You will see them use drums or whatever they can find to properly package their garbage, put it out for the truck to come and take it up. But there is that percentage, far too high for my liking, which just toss the garbage all over the place. Not only will you see the garbage scattered out in communities, in some instances because of non-containerization, I must also admit here that there are instances where stray animals like dogs and goats, pigs, which is another subject for another day. But there are far too much of them roaming the place, and they will rummage through the garbage and cause an unsightly mess. Then there are people who will just litter at will. They'll be driving on the road and they finish a patty or a juice or a lunch box and just toss it through the window of a car, and it just create that travel waste along the major thoroughfares, even the minor ones too. So there's far too much of that kind of irresponsible behavior in our country. We would love to see that improve. Now, what are we doing about it? We have been.
Well, Mr. Gordon, I'm not sure. Mr. Gordon, I think that there is some internet issues at your end. I suspect it's at your end. I'm not sure.
No, sir, Mac. The internet issue is on your end. Mr. Gordon is coming along very clear and is presenting. He's now at a point where he's talking about what he's going to do about it. But your internet has been going in and out. So I think we should allow Mr. Gordon to go on.
Mr. Gordon, I don't want us to upset our viewers because as Mary says, you have been going in and out.
No, it's you, Mr. Mac, going in and out.
Thank you, Ms. K. No, Mr. Gordon, something is wrong at your end. I don't know if we're going to.
I really don't know.
At your end, Mr. Gordon.
Franklin.
Yeah, I'm not moving, and
Yes,
I don't
Desmond.
know.
Well, Mr. Gordon is coming across clearly, It's from the start. From the start, you have been going in and out.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Gordon, Mr. Gordon, you go ahead. And if I drop off again, Mary knows that she will take charge there. Yes, it might be my end, Mr. Gordon. I gather that it's my end. I find that. Mr. Gordon, so let's ask you some questions so that we can break it up and the others can jump in as well. So you are saying that about 75% of Jamaicans are following the rules, containerizing their garbage, etc. Mr. Gordon.
Sure.
So what's preventing the other 25%? And what about the prosecution that you should be doing Now that people have been educated a long time about their garbage, Mr. Gordon.
Okay, so I was at the point where I was getting to the what we are doing about it, Franklin, and you are correct in that we have a higher percentage doing their part than those who are messing up things. So what we have done, we have carved out several programs to go directly to where the main problematic areas are. We, over time, would have studied the pattern, and so we pretty much know where the major problems are, and we are in there. We are doing things like Jump Off the Gate initiative, which we go in, we provide the drums, we talk to people about the best practices. We'll be doing a Pass the Broom project, which we have started just now. This is one where we are trying to evoke the civic pride that you and I grew on, Franklin, and the team. We used to have civic pride. We used to clean up before anybody drive a stick or beat us over the head for it. We used to get out and clean up our place, and we used to feel good doing it. And I'm not saying that civics not on the agenda is the cause, but I think there was a time, and I really wish that we could, even as we modernize and do the nicer things, that we could keep some of those old habits, which is to clean up without being dragged or pulled to do it. So we are going with the Pass the Broom initiative and engaging communities, especially those problematic ones that we know, that we are going in. We are talking to political leaders, we are talking to church leaders, we are talking to schools, we are talking to youth clubs, we are talking to farmers group, we are going to everyone, and we are blessed now that the government has given us some added bodies in the community relations department, where we used to have just 4 people doing the entire island. We now have 15, and we are really with the added boots on the ground, going very hard at the public education aspect of the thing. Because while most will say enforcement, and yes, we will speak to enforcement, we are doing enforcement, I really want to court you. I really want to court a relationship. I really want to build out a kind of a network of educated people in terms of best practices around waste management. And then when I do that aspect of it, then I move to a more aggressive and a more robust, muscular enforcement approach. Because I think the two must go.
Mr. Gordon, have we gone on long about this, man? Mr. Gordon, have we gone on too long about this, talking about more education and so forth? And young people know by now, have people heard over the years that they must throw the garbage out on the roadside, and they mustn't throw things in the window, that commercial people must arrange to move their garbage? What sort of more education we need?
To the extent that there are some frustrations there, Franklin, it is shared frustration. I would that people would be doing it without being coerced. But the truth is, we are seeing behavior that requires us and asks us to go and have this conversation. Now, we are enforcing as we speak. We are doing the two. But I believe that we have a duty, and the NSWM Act, challenge us to do the public education. I reiterate the point that before now, we had 4 people doing the entire island. Now just imagine that, 4 staff for the entire island in that department. Now we have 15. So we now in a better position to go with a sustained program of public education. So yes and no. Yes, you are correct that we are at this long enough and talking about it. But the truth is we were kind of handicapped. The part about it now is that we should just go to enforcement. No, I still believe we ought to do the education, even while we do the light enforcement. Then we'll get to a point where who can hear must feel. And we're going to go hard.
Mr. Gordon.
No,
Mr.
I would
Gordon.
love to say something on that. I would want to challenge this 75%. Why? The same set of people who have drums or bins at their gate. Some of these people, these bejacketed people, throw things from their vehicle as well. And some of them on public transport. They wouldn't do it at their gate, but they do it at other people's gate. So I believe that that is why I would challenge that 75%, because that same people from that same group, they
So
litter
Winnie,
as well.
Do you think that this 75% of people who are seemingly compliant on the face at their gate, do you think that they are the ones who are accounting for the vast majority of littering in
Some
public
of them,
areas?
some
Or
of them.
there is, as Mr. Gordon said, that there's a 25% group of people who just don't have that civic pride. I
No,
remember
it's
growing
not
up
that
as a
neat.
child.
It is not that neat. The same set of people who have bins at their gate. Some of these bejacketed people, you drive behind them and they are throwing garbage from their vehicles. And a number of, I have seen it, and I'm
I
not
would
the
not say
only
they're
and,
the
one,
vast
and,
majority.
along the
and
road.
dumping garbage in the gullies, throwing garbage in the waterways too.
But do you think it's the 75% of people that are obviously practicing cleanliness at yard, go out abroad, go litter the road through the
Listen,
car windows and whatever,
I
or
want
it
you,
is that minute group of 25%, I think, who have no home training to
no,
even practice it at yard, who would go out on the road and just litter without a second thought.
that is why we cannot get it right, because it is not two neat groups. One group littering and one group keeping it clean. That is not it. You
It's
have
a
this
mix up.
among those who have bins at their gates and they would not litter their own surrounding. They are the ones who go out. Some of them, I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying we do not have two neat groups of people. 25 over there littering and 75 over here keeping it clean. That is not what
I
we
hear
have.
you, Winnie.
Mr.
I hear you.
Mr.
Go on to the
Gardner,
next
Mr.
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes,
Mr.
Sergeant.
Gardner, I have a question for you. I have been talking to parish councillors around the country, and one of the issues they have is the non-collection of garbage. Now, I would like to know if you have enough trucks and workmen right now to collect garbage around the country, not just in the corporate area, but in rural Jamaica.
That's a good point, Brother Desmond. Because I see where there's a difference in the facility in the corporate area versus the rural area. Go ahead, Mr. Gordon.
Right. So we do have adequate amount of trucks now. If you had asked me this question 2 years ago, it would not be so. But we had requested of government, and we did receive 100 new trucks, 50 in one tranche and 50 in a second tranche. What we do have, though, is a challenge where the non-containerization that takes place cause us to be delayed sometimes. For example, if you have 20 bags of garbage properly packaged, we could get those 20 bags of garbage and move from your gate or your avenue within a short period of time, might be 10 minutes, less than that. We take them up, we put on a truck and we move. If the same garbage was scattered out, we will be there over an hour. So the truck
I see
is
that in progress. I can agree with what you're saying, Mr.
right.
Gordon.
So the truck get detained whenever, and I'm not gonna pick a fight over 25-75. It could be 60-40, it could be 70-30, but I know going around Jamaica every day doing this, the higher percentage of people are making an effort to keep the country clean.
That's
So
great.
you are no. What I want to hear from you, you know of adequate trucks, and you
Right.
know of an efficient system in place to collect garbage island-wide. You do have that.
No, that is the second part of your question, your suggestion. No, is I couldn't in all honesty say we have an efficient system, because while we have the trucks, the efficiency that we need, and I like that word, have to come from the partnership where everyone have to properly package, properly containerize their garbage, and allow us to have the kind of turnaround time that we need to move to the next community. If we get bogged down, raking up, bagging up, then have to put on the truck, then the efficiency is gone through the window. It even wastes money.
Mr. Gordon, I want to take on another side of Desmond's question. Because Desmond has asked you that question about the rural areas, the towns outside of Kingston and St. Andrews. Are you in a position to adequately and regularly collect garbage, parish capitals, country roads, country districts outside of Kingston and St. Andrews?
Every parish capital get attention daily. Every major town center get attention daily. What happens is...
No, not attention, proper collection and efficiency. Not attention.
No, remember we discussed the efficiency part of the thing. Where the garbage is scattered, which is why we have to get the partnership. And I'm glad for podcasts like this that I can stress that unless other things happen in the community at source, it's difficult for us to give you the efficient service that we would love to. But where attention is concerned, where visitation is concerned, a truck is in those spaces daily. What we have though is that there are times when the truck, which should have been in a town center for probably about a half an hour, it is back down there for some time, a half a day. And that's the challenge that we have.
Is it that bad?
Little.
So instead of carrying garbage from several communities, you're in one
For example,
how much time?
All right, for example, you will sweep, and those of you who move around, you may sometime encounter, if you move around early mornings, the wee hours, you may encounter my sweepers, or you might see a few of them.
I see them every day. I see them every day. In the corporate
so you will get the road clean early morning to start your day. We try to give you the road clean in certain areas, in not every road, but in certain areas. And by about 9 o'clock, if you look at that same road, it's as if it was never swept.
Why Coronation Market so dirty?
All right, so
I want to come in here because this is a serious thing, Serious thing we're talking about. This is no joke thing, The people are nasty. These Jamaicans are nasty with you,
It's true. I can speak for rural Jamaica. I can speak for rural Jamaica. I live in rural Jamaica. And I was the one who was instrumental in getting the garbage truck in our area. So when I talk, I know what I'm talking about.
And did you find that your efforts of getting the garbage truck, getting the garbage out of the area, did it make a difference to the civic pride of the people that they come out, as Mr. Gordon said? He tried to give them the road clean for them to come out of their house to a clean road. And by 9 o'clock, it looked like a rubbish truck again.
Now my area.
Sweeping in the morning, I come down to my shop. And by the time I'm trying to walk across the road to go down to Brooklyn or whatever, the place looked like a garbage truck. And had I not known that I saw the sweepers on the road 6 o'clock to come out 9 o'clock to the garbage truck, that's the government now do nothing.
It speaks to values and attitudes. Let me tell you why. It speaks to that. There are people in Jamaica who genuinely believe that when they create the mess, they're creating work for people. If they don't litter, people don't get to clean up.
So there's a cultural defect.
Yes.
There is a cultural defect, and I hate to see that we have to be associating bad habit, nasty habit with a part of our culture. It is deep in the culture where a lot of people believe that when they litter, other people get work to do. And those are some of the things that we are trying to debunk. There's just what we're trying to debunk
Gordon,
with the public education program.
I am frustrated. Mr.
Gordon,
say I'm frustrated. That's why I speak about it this way. But
you
are not taking the prosecution seriously.
So we're right.
We just keep talking about 70%, and people is going to take time. But we're not doing anything about it.
All right. So we are
prosecuting the people who.
Not exactly true, Franklin, because we have even improved in the area of enforcement, where we are now we are now putting our enforcement officers on motorbikes. Before they were literally static, to get them to be able to respond in real time. We have an NSWM Act where people can report infractions to us that we can respond to. We are moving heavily on social media to engage and to get people to talk back to us so we know exactly what is going on. We are writing over 500 tickets per month for litter. We still need to do much more, but
headlines.
we hello?
We need the media now to work along with you to have some big headlines when these litter tickets and people are prosecuted, to bring it in the press so that people see that there is enforcement going on, and we are not going to tolerate littering without taking action.
Right. So what we are doing, I can tell you what we are doing from our end, and we try to engage media in everything that we do. As part of our attire core is T for transparency, ATTIRE. One of the T there is for transparency. So media is engaging everything that we do. But what happens though is the culture, it is so steep in the culture now that even take a public sanitary convenience, it would be just like 10 meters from where somebody is standing. And they will use a light post instead.
My God.
They will,
yes, half with 3 sticks. Yes.
yes. So it is something that we go.
Mary's going to read some comments because there were some comments for you, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, there are some comments coming in.
Mary, go ahead, please.
Welcome Keith, welcome Sonia, welcome Rubian. Keith is saying, he's asking, are there enough garbage collectors to remove the trash pile up in different locations? Answer that one first and then I'll go to Sonia.
I would have to know the specific of the location the person is talking about, but what we do know is that each of our truck that go out, each have at least 4 sanitation workers on it, and if we have properly containerized garbage, that's more than adequate.
Okay, all right.
We have close to 3,000 sanitation workers island wide, and a country of our size, if we have the civic pride, if we get people properly packaging their garbage, if we didn't have so much litter bugs, that would be more than adequate to serve this population.
But Mr. Gordon, just a thought as you answer Keith's question. I am thinking, just a thought. See, now we know that we have the problem and we're going to prosecute. What about using the community, the neighborhood watches to be that on the ground persons like the watchdogs on the ground to help with your containerization to reduce times of the truck in the neighborhood? Could that something like that?
Absolutely, you are correct. Which is why earlier I said we are engaging just about every grouping possible, and I did list for you a number: civic associations, churches, schools, youth clubs, farm groups, everyone that's out there to get them involved in this. So yes, it has to be partnership.
Sonia is saying good garbage disposal habit is severely lacking. What's your response to that?
It is lacking in many instances, but I still hold to my earlier comment that majority of the people, when you drive around most of Jamaica, you see people make effort to properly containerize their garbage. You see that. You go into any of the schemes, any of the housing projects there, you will see where people put that. They have, some of them have the blue drums, some of them have different color drums. They have receptacles that they have erected, get demand to do for them. Some of them, other forms of receptacles, and they put the garbage in a proper bag and they put it out there. You see that, and that is in majority of the country. But you have the pockets where they are really challenged, where they just see a gully and they just dump in it. They see an open area, open lot, they just dump on it. So yes, there are needs for improvements, but I
challenge you to visit my area. I challenge you to visit my area. Come from Osborne Store and go right through the area. I used to think it was the school children who would litter, but it's not the school children. It's the people on public transportation. They are the ones that pass and litter. I was quite shocked when I saw what was happening. Mandeville used to be the cleanest town. Go there and see.
Travel waste is a major problem for us,
Yes.
and you're correct.
I love the term
Travel waste is a major problem. We had in Maypen once we had an outreach where we spoke with all the bus drivers, taxi drivers, pedestrians, everyone, and we even gave out little bags that they can keep in their cars to keep the garbage together until they can dispose of it responsibly. Because we find, and this is not to say that these things only happen in public transportation, because it do happen in private transportation
as well.
too.
Yes.
But it is a huge problem, and whenever the roads are cut, is when you see the manifestation of it.
Mr. Gordon, as you wrap up here, because we're going on to our next segment. As you wrap up, and I see some comments going on, we'd love to ask Mary, but this is the final thing I want to ask you, Mr. Gordon. What is commercial garbage and the people who are the commercial entities that are messing up the place? What's the latest thing with them?
All right, so we continue to engage the business people in the different town centers. We have most of them again that have signed up and have proper haulage arrangements in place. Some signed up with us, with other private haulers. We encourage that, but there is a percentage of business people who will give their garbage to even a little person of demented mind with a cart and just to go and dump it anywhere. They don't concern themselves with how it is disposed of. They just want to get it from their business places. And I will say here on a very controversial note that we are having some serious problem, especially with a certain ethnicity, which I won't call the name, but they are all over. They are setting up business all over, and they are the ones giving us a lot of problems right now. But we are trying to work on that through another channel.
These things are real situations.
Why they don't call them? Why they don't name
we have mixed interracial businesses, the culture is different. So real situations.
And some of these have the bins that you're talking about. Go to their homes. It's not like that. Some of these business people, their homes, they have drums and they have bins, but they dispose of the garbage like that out there.
So I will say to you that we are recruiting. We have recruited more
Mr.
enforcement
Gordon, I
officers.
want to thank you on behalf of all of us for taking the time. I think we have an arrangement to tell us more. No. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Right. So we are stepping up our enforcement in terms of this enforcement infrastructure. We had 25 4 years ago. We now have over 100. We are expecting some new fines, and yes, we are trying to partner with people like Jamaica Eye and all that, because I think that in all of this we need the surveillance because we can't be everywhere every time to see every infraction. So there's a number of things that we'll be doing and on the enforcement front. But while we're doing that, we're really stepping up the public education, because at the end, in the end, we want everyone to play their part. Jamaica's duty have to be a collective duty.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Before you go, Mr. Gordon,
Mr. Gordon is executive director of the NSWMA, and he has an agreement with us to come back to us in another month. So we take on some specific things, including the prosecution, the enforcement, which everybody says lets us down in all manner of things in Jamaica. Mr. Gordon, we want to thank you very much, sir, for being forthright and speaking. And I hope you're going to send somebody down to Winnie's area where she says,
I know the area
very well. Not being properly policed. Let's put it that way.
Well. Thank you very much for having me.
Do you see what I see? Yes.
Thank you, the panel too.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gordon. That's Mr. Audley Gordon.
Sir,
He's the executive director of the NSWMA, and I must apologize if my situation is a little bit unstable. But we are going to go on, and Mary knows that she will take over if anything goes wrong with me at this end. Now, there are many questions, some of them being asked publicly, about a Chinese-owned and operated garage business at Ferry, St. Catherine. I think I mentioned in the lead into this discussion, that there's also a big one that has opened up recently at Priory, just outside of Priory in St. Anne, taking lots of vehicles. And I just today spoke with a friend of mine who recently went there. And I'm not even going to ask you all to bet because you would get it wrong. But let me tell you, a friend of mine went there because his AC system was misfiring on him. And he went there, he got it checked out. They put the what do you call it? I can't remember the name of the stuff on. And you know how much he paid people, listeners, colleagues? 1,000 Jamaican dollars.
Wow.
Well, all of us need to be out there.
1,000 Jamaican dollars to have an examination, to have the reporting done, and to be told his vehicle is okay now.
Oh, for the diagnosis,
right.
Mr. Mark.
So there are many questions. What's wrong with businesses being set up? And we are joined by Wilson, and I think we're also going to be joined by Rowan Powell. I've not seen Rowan yet.
Yes,
Rowan
teacher, I'm here.
Okay, Rowan Powell is here, and Rowan Powell, let me just allow you just let's tell my colleagues that Rowan Powell is a colleague, a journalist.
Yeah,
I remember Rowan. Yes.
And Rowan recently was seen on TVJ talking about his experience at the facility at Ferry. Rowan, go ahead. Just tell us what you found, why you went there, and what you found.
Thank you very much, Franklin, and to the rest of your listeners and also your panelists, Desmond, Killer Richards, and can you just help me with I'm not sure who the other person is.
The name is Warren Wilson,
Winnie,
KW Dynamic Services.
Brown.
Yes. Oh, okay. This is Anderson Brown.
And there's a mechanic there here, Warren Wilson, KW Dynamic Services. So it's your time, Rowan. You go ahead. We're coming to Warren.
Okay, so real quickly, it all started out from a TikTok post that I saw. A person, a male, he went viral, bringing to the public, and I guess there were others who would have done similar videos, that there was this establishment, we know where it is, off the Mandela, that they were offering the services, mechanical services. I'm coming out of a crash recently, not anything major, but I had some damage to the vehicle, and I decided that I wanted to be a curious individual, so I journeyed to the location on the Saturday. Yeah. So I went to the location on Saturday, and I couldn't get in because yesterday were closed. And then I decided that Tuesday morning, bright and early, I would be there. When I went there, I was confronted by a line longer than what normally obtains at the U.S. Embassy and other places, the Canadian High Commission. I had no decision. I had to make a decision, at that time to decide whether to wait or leave. So I decided to stay. Got a ticket number and not a ticket number. I got my vehicle registered. Fast forward to Wednesday, because I couldn't wait the whole day because it was an effort in futility. Came back the Wednesday morning. I reached there just minutes to 5 o'clock. Same long line. Told myself I have to get inside. And I decided to put on my entrepreneurial hat and decided that somehow I got in.
What is happening? I'm not hearing Rowan.
He's coming across clear, Brother Desmond.
Yes, I'm hearing him clearly.
We're hearing him.
Go on, Rowan.
Go ahead, Rowan. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got in.
But we're hearing you. Most of us hearing you.
The most important part was to get into the facility. I got into the facility, however, I didn't have a number. And Franklin,
the number that you got days before?
No, sorry, I made an error. Not a number. I got registered. And they would have WhatsApped me to tell me that I should come at X time or on a particular date. I didn't see an appointment date. I didn't get neither the WhatsApp message, so I decided I had to go there physically. Went there physically, reached in the Wednesday morning, and still didn't have a number. And I saw the Chinese men who were there. They were not able to speak most of them don't speak fluent English or basic English. So it's basically you trying to use signs and other means of trying to speak with them and converse with them. I saw someone beside me, what I knew later was a policeman. and he was conversing with it. I said, I don't think this policeman knows Chinese. So I went over to him and spoke to him, and it turns out that Google Translator was the savior of the day. Downloaded the app, and I started my conversation on Google app with the Chinese one. But before that, I took up a megaphone and I decided to work for a short period of time. I started calling out numbers myself and telling people where they should go. And the gentleman who was the Chinese gentleman said, you work? I said, yeah. And he gave me number 5+1. I don't know what 5+1, whether it was 6 or I was still in the 5 stream. But I got my vehicle in. And Franklin, as we speak, I am amazed. Why I say I'm amazed? In no time, they hooked up my vehicle to the diagnostic computer he had. It's like a tablet, a fairly small tablet, not too small, not too large. Went through the paces, and then I decided now to start asking questions through the Google Translator. What's the problem with my vehicle? It translated to Chinese, and he responded to me audio, and the audio translated to English. He told me that I needed 4 things to be replaced on my vehicle: the rear airbag sensor, 2 oxygen sensors, and a catalyst or a catalytic converter. Hope I'm correct with that. So the next step, what can I do to get this done? He told me if I get the parts to him, he can do it same day. As soon as I come back, they will just let me come in and deal with it. So I said, how much it will cost?
Parts there as well, or you have to go someplace else to get the parts?
I do, because I don't. At the moment, I'm told that they are seeking to bring in a huge consignment of parts. I can't tell you that this will in fact happen. But what they do, they tell you that you get the parts and they will come and you pay for the labor. So I never went ahead and did what I had to do because I had to go back to work. And he told me that it would cost me $30,000 for that to be fixed. I decided that I will shop around. I like making calls, and touching base, And I was told that it is a steal, meaning simply that me getting a bargain. What would have been done at another shop would probably be in the region of maybe 70, 80, 90,000 upwards, depending on the location of the garage. There was one gentleman who stands out in my mind. He pushed his vehicle into that facility the Wednesday morning. Couldn't drive the vehicle, and I am not taking any tails out of school. I went over to him and spoke to him, and he explained quickly to me that he had this problem with his BMW. I couldn't get it to drive. I had to push it in. He spent almost $200,000 trying to rectify what was a transmission problem. He told me that the transmission expert, that was the term he used, said, boy, he might have got to change the transmission, or he might have to do this, that, or the other. Turns out that he went to the Chinese mechanics, and at 9 o'clock, because he had number 40 or something like that, I can't remember the exact number, that man drove out of the facility. His cost, it was 30,800 or 38,000.
So
I can double check.
Rohan, tell us quickly. So your car was dealt with. Rohan, tell us quickly. Your car was dealt with at what cost?
The $1,000 diagnostic?
No, it was 2,000 for me. 2,000 was mine. Yeah. But I would have to pay $30,000, which I didn't pay because I would have to seek the replacement.
Your car was dealt with at what cost?
Just $2,000 for the diagnostic.
No, say that again.
$2,000.
Rohan paid $2,000 for a diagnostic check to find
to
out
identify.
what was wrong with his car.
Yeah, $2,000 for the diagnostic check to find out exactly what the problem was, and that it would cost me $30,000 to get the problem rectified. The labor cost.
Labor plus parts.
Yes. No, not plus parts. I'd have to find the parts.
That's what I mean. You'd have to bear the cost of your parts. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rohan, this sounds like an amazing story. My husband heard about it on TikTok as well, and was saying to me, "Oh, I need to bring the car there," but I don't. It doesn't sound like it's something for a woman. This sounds like a man task to go out there, join the long line, stake it out, push it through. It's a little bit rugged for us girls.
All you will have to do is have time on your hands. That's all you need.
Yes. That sounds like a man thing. Them have the patience for this.
Yes.
No, you see?
All you have to do is have type on your hands.
I don't agree, but I can understand why you say that. Yes.
And I concur with
Okay,
you.
well, we
It
want to
don't
bring in.
matter. It don't matter whether you be male or female, somebody who
Yeah.
has no knowledge of a vehicle. All you would need to do is get that vehicle into that facility, and two things will happen. They will tell you that this vehicle cannot be fixed, or they will tell you that it can be fixed.
I understand. So, Rohan, what about
All right,
the
Rowan,
language
thank you
barrier?
very much, Rowan. We really wanted to get the experience of somebody who had gone into
Yeah.
the facility, and we've got it. We thank you very much.
No
for
problem, Franklin.
moderating
But
so that we can
but
have
just
a
to
sense
quickly
of
answer
really
that
what
question,
goes on.
quickly just to answer that question, Franklin
Because in
and
the end,
my
it's about
other,
the service.
there's no language
Rowan.
barrier owing to the digital
Yes.
space. You just
Yes.
download Google Translator, and once you type whatever the problem is, it translates it into Chinese
Yes.
simple. Chinese simple, and Chinese simple gives you the answer.
Okay, thanks, Rohan.
No problem.
Okay. All right, thanks. All right, so we have on there Warren Wilson,
Franklin.
known to some of us as Kevin Wilson.
Hello, Franklin.
He's not hearing
Yeah,
you.
so
Go
we have
ahead,
with
brother
us Warren
Desmond.
Wilson. Some of us call him Kevin Wilson, a mechanic from the Orchard.
Franklin, can you hear me?
And there are predictions that lots of
We are
mechanics
hearing
will be
Franklin.
losing their
Let him.
job now.
I am not hearing.
I'm hearing you, Desmond.
One moment, brother
So,
Desmond.
Mr. Wilson,
Let Mr. Wilson
please tell
come in
us about
first and then you after.
your views on what the Chinese are going to be doing to the industry.
Muted. Unmute.
Mr. Wilson, we're not hearing you. I think
He's
your
muted.
device is on mute. Please unmute and continue.
Still not hearing.
So Wilson, unmute.
Still muted.
Mr. Wilson, unmute. I'm so sorry we're not hearing him.
He's still muted.
I suppose Joshua will.
So sorry we're not hearing him. But I wanted to say, while we wait for Kevin
Joshua to
Wilson to
start.
unmute, there are people who are very concerned and are suggesting that this. There are people who are very concerned and suggesting that this will represent a shock to the system in Jamaica, an unnecessary shock. Still not here, Mr. Wilson. I know that Desmond has some concerns. I know that there are many Jamaicans who believe that these guys had it coming to them. The mechanics had it coming to them because this is a vacuum which needed to be filled for service, for people to be able to get service, reliability for their assets. So many people I said, yes, Kevin, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Yes. I'm hearing a lot of things.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead and speak.
You hearing me? You hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Speak.
Yes, I'm hearing a lot of things going on. And these prices that I'm hearing is ridiculously cheap. Whereas we have a lot of mechanic companies here. We have KIG, we have Toyota Jamaica, we have ATL, and we have, Stuart Industrial Control, ATL section, and all of that. But these prices that I'm hearing that they are charging with that infrastructure that they had put in, I'm wondering how it work out financially, how it's going to work, because I have a reputable business, a registered business that I struggle to build. Mr. Knight, you know that business before we even start putting it together. And the prices that I'm hearing, and for me to pay in taxes like statutory and all the tax, you know all the taxes that we have to pay in Jamaica. I'm wondering how they're charging these ridiculously cheap prices, like $1,000 to fix a AC, what I'm hearing. And then Most of my customers, I don't charge them to scan the car. Once you are my customer, you're on my customer client list, we don't charge you to scan a car because scan tool is a part of the tool that we use to check cars. But if someone come in and asks to scan a car, just like what his name was explained, you plug on your scan tool, you check it, it tell you this, it tell you that. Yes, those are the parts you need. No, they are not doing anything else that we are not doing. Right? Every mechanic that I've known in my league, in here in Orchards, we all have scan tools. We're doing the same thing. What I'm finding is the cheapness. They're running down the cheapness. Everybody hear that there's some Chinaman in town. They're working cheap and they're running over there. So I don't know.
Kevin.
Yes.
I'm listening to the testimony of that customer who went there. It would sound to me that they have the Chinese have taken out the mystery out of car repair. Because usually you have your car, it giving a problem, and it's like you have to go on a matlock situation with these mechanics to find out what is wrong with your car and basically get an idea how much they will cost to fix that you can really rely on. So it's reliable diagnosis that I find is missing. But if you're using the same tools, they must be doing something different from what the Jamaican mechanics are doing with the same.
All right. You're saying so much, but I want to address them one at a time. So what I'm finding now, I want you guys to do a research and go and look on KW Dynamic and Google. We recently listed our thing on Google, and my reviews is second to none. I can bet and win you anytime. I have 80% of female customers, right? And just as how he break it down, that is how I do it around here. Mr. Knight there, he know about it. What we are short of here in Jamaica, the main backbone of every nation is to build your people, build your country. No one in Jamaica don't help mechanics. Mechanics used to be some dirty man on the corner under some tree, and when them going there, carry the whole like grease up, and them mechanics used to be nobody. The game changer is here now, right? And I'm a clean mechanic. I can go in your car anytime and come out, whether it's 9 in the morning or 5 in the evening, right? But most mechanics are lack of knowledge, and they're trying, but they try not just, it won't work. So we don't, and they have no financial support. If you look at that infrastructure that I'm seeing these clippings on, it's $1 billion industry they set up there, right? And
yes, well invested.
And our dealerships here have the same quality service or even better to fix the cars, but the prices is up because our inflation rate is way out. All right, I'll give you guys this, and I hope to God we live to see. Those prices going to change soon because those $1,000 bill collecting and $3,000 collecting and $30,000 cannot pay the light bill, the water bill, and how about the taxes? How you pay all your overheads?
But this immigrant problem, is this problem the same? The Americans complain about the same problem. Immigrants come in and are able to offer the same service, cheaper. So here we have Jamaica on the back foot dealing with the same issue. Why should we welcome these Chinese with open arms and lower prices? Why should we be worried about the existing citizens, businesses going out of business because we have immigrants coming in, don't even speak the language, offering the same service with obviously a better efficiency at a lower cost? No, it's Jamaica's time to get under the fire.
So what we have now is we're heading to the same.
But Mary, Kevin is saying that our guys offer the
same service.
Kevin,
I can't call
I don't. You are saying
same service, same efficient service.
Same service is in the belief of the customers.
Same
Frankly,
service.
can you hear
me? Kevin, why do you think the lines are there at these places?
It's the cheapest.
Why are the lines there for them?
At the Chinese places, why are the lines?
All right, I'm going to tell you about the line. I remember the one Captain Bakery in Orchards, and it caused a traffic jam.
Why are so many people rushing to get?
It's just a new service. It's just another new service. We have competent garages here, competent mechanic here. Right? I can call names.
Go ahead. We are hearing you.
Yes, I'm saying it's just a new
I
service.
am not hearing a word that is being said.
I don't know. I don't know. You're not hearing me?
We're hearing you.
We're
Yes.
here. We're hearing you. Desmond
I'm
is not
saying-
hearing, but we're hearing.
I'm saying this sudden drift is about cheapness. I have customers come there and don't pay every day. Just the same scan tool that they are working, I have about 6 different top brand scan tool. I have Lift. They don't have anything over me. I have all the brand tools. But the problem, I have to charge to pay my bills, pay my customer, and I have to live. And I have loans as well. I borrow a lot of money to build my place. But what is the fix for this? I'm asking, what is the fix?
What do you think is the fix for this? Because they would have come in as a legitimate business, set up, invested, as you say, $1 billion business, and is able to charge a lower rate. And there's no fix because you're a businessman in a market economy, and they're a business and also in a market economy. So it's for the consumer to decide where they want to go. If they're getting cheap price over there, same service, they're right in a market economy.
Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. I agree with you. But you must know this. And I want you to look behind all this rush to check a cheap mechanic. That is what America did, Send out all the information, everything to China to get a cheaper labor. And at the end of the day, what do they are doing to do this? Because if you look now, I'm not against no one. I'm just talking about what is coming. The Chinese, if you're going anywhere, you have to pay the Chinese. You're driving on their road. Where you put on your clothes, you're working Chinese. Everything that you do is Chinese, right? Chinese taking over the construction now, and Chinese coming in the mechanic service. I'm blaming all government for this because they don't build their people. The country don't build their people. Every young youth that used to come by, I'm asking Mr. Knight about 4 years now to find somebody to come to work. Nobody want to work. All youth want to do is scamming, right? Now, if they see the market need mechanic, that's why they are here, because we don't have enough people here to do trade work.
Good observation.
There's nobody here to do trade work. So the Chinese, every construction site you're running now, Chinese are there. In a matter of time, all those guys rushing out to that place in Ferry and down by Plantation, their job's going to be in a problem to with Chinese because this is just one more step that they take.
And that is the journey of immigrants in your country. It's either we're going to embrace them and embrace the side effects that come with them, or we're going to close them out from the beginning and protect our peoples.
Mary, listen now. It starts by the heads of authority. The parish council must have known that they was building this garage out there.
Of course, I would imagine they couldn't invest that much without the proper permission.
So much infrastructure. All right, I must ask you the questions now. We all work and we all pay
Mr. Warren Wilson.
Yes, sir. You're not hearing
me, but Mr. Warren Wilson, we want to thank you, sir. Because
you're
although
gone already,
extended the program this week, people might have noticed it's 1 hour this week.
We have come to the end of the program.
And we want to thank our special guests, Executive Director of NSWMA, Audley Gordon. Thanks to Kevin Wilson, Warren Wilson, businessman, mechanic of KW Dynamic Services Limited. Kevin, we're telling you that we're going to bring you back next week when we hopefully have less problems.
We need to go inside of this
thanks
more.
Thanks to Rowan for sharing his experiences of the Chinese auto business. Thanks to regular presenters Desmond Richards, Winnie Anderson Brown, and Mary Grange, who did so much of that linkage for us. Thanks to the technical producer Joshua Black of Joshua Black Media Services. We did have some technical issues this week. We tried to cover them through thanks to you, our viewers. I am Franklin McKnight, and we thank you all so very much. And Kevin, we're going to bring you back next week when you can really take us through some of your concerns. And we really want to discuss the concerns of having Chinese business people doing business, and why is that not fair? That should be fair. And why is it not fair if it's not fair? Okay. Thank you all for being with us today on Frankly Speaking Jamaica Podcast. Very much. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
Until then.
There's